afternoon and welcome to Africa Today. I am Aidnan Lubem. First, the headlines. On the headlines, INEC agitates party primaries extension. Soldiers killed 9 villagers in Cameroon. South Africa opposition leader says Ramaphosa must step down. On sports, Brume Amusan, Team Nigeria's medal hopefuls. And now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari has urged the All Progressives Congress, that is APC, to sheath their swords and not allow the People's Democratic Party, that is PDP, drag the country backwards by affording them the opportunity to return to power. The president said this while addressing delegates at the National Convention of the party in the early hours of today. He recalled that the APC inherited a country where a large expanse of land was under insurgency, infrastructure decay, and a nearly dead economy, despite crude oil selling above $100 per barrel for years.
I urge you at all times to abide by the party rules and follow party reconciliation processes. In every competitive event, there are bound to be winners and runners-up. And as such, all the aspirants who lost or conceded at the primaries, I equally urge you to maintain the spirit of sportsmanship and to stand by our great party for the next challenges ahead. As we go into presidential primary, I urge all to keep to the same spirit. We must avoid acrimony and maintain the spirit of sportsmanship. And I call on all party members, particularly the party officials and the delegates, to abide by all extant laws, rules, and regulations, and to consider voting for the presidential candidate with the best chances of securing victory for our great party in the coming general election.
He told the delegates to avoid acrimony and maintain the spirit of sportsmanship as he advised the National Working Committee of the party to continue to forge unity in the interest of the party. Meanwhile, as at 3:52 a.m. today, more than half of the delegates present had not cast their votes. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said in the early hours of today that the future of the country's children compels delegates to the special presidential primary convention of the All Progressives Congress, that is APC, to vote for the right aspirant to fly the party's flag in the next year's general elections. He stated this while addressing the 2,322 APC delegates who converged in Abuja to elect the party's flag bearer. Osinbajo reminded them that they have an awesome responsibility and incredible moral burden in casting their votes and urged them to give the party's ticket.
And so we stand today on the threshold of history. To paraphrase Winston Churchill, so much depends on so few of us. 2,322 delegates will decide the future of our children and their own children. 2,322 persons will decide the fortunes of Africa's largest economy.
The vice president was one of the 22 aspirants at the venue and urged the delegates to demonstrate their faith as religious people who prayed for a peaceful and prosperous nation by voting for the person they believe in. According to Osinbajo, the 7 years he has served as the vice president have equipped him with knowledge of the nuances and the complexities of the challenges that confront Nigeria. He said he would be ready from day one as president, pointing out that the country's circumstances would not afford Nigeria's next leader to learn on the job. Away from that, now to INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, that is INEC, has shown concerns for the recent agitations following the extension of political parties' primaries windows. National Commissioner, INEC Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, revealed this during an exclusive interview with Boss FM 95.5 Abuja on their political and current affairs probe show, Arena 36+1, and here's what he had to say.
We understand what the Nigerian people are saying. We understand the concerns of the Nigerian people. And from my own understanding, the Nigerian people are saying, don't indulge the political parties anymore. Allow them to put their house in order. Allow them to do things in accordance with the rule of law and due process. That they are demanding for extension, they are demanding for a shift because some of them have not been very transparent in terms of their internal party dynamics. So that's exactly what happened. No ulterior motives. The commission did what we did with a fair mind, but we understand the concerns of Nigerians related.
Festus, while speaking on the extension of PVC registration, said the commission would meet to decide the fate of the issue.
The cutoff period for us to know whether that target has been met or that projection is not realizable has not reached. Okay. That's one. Okay. Secondly, the voters registration is still ongoing. So it is unfair to link the extension, 6-day extension granted to the political parties with a voters registration that is still ongoing. The Independent National Electoral Commission, the voters registration process in June 2021. We first of all rolled out the online registration, and then in July we rolled out the physical registration. From June 2021 to this period, it's over 11 months. From the time we started physical registration to now, it's almost 11 months. Sometimes our registration officers register one a day. We have a peculiar Nigerian problem, and we must, as a people and as a nation, address it. If a deadline is not 1 week away, we will not begin to do what is needful. Despite all this, we are going to have a meeting with our resident electoral commissioners tomorrow.
On the Ekiti State governorship election slated for June 18, the commissioner revealed that INEC is ready.
We are ready for the Ekiti governorship election. We met with the Council of Traditional Rulers. We met with all our electoral officers. We did a mock accreditation in 16 polling units cutting across the three senatorial districts. We met with the security agencies. We went round to 5 of our local government offices in Ekiti. And from what we have seen, all the non-sensitive materials required for the conduct of the election have gone to all the local governments, and the sensitive materials have already been batched.
After sadness and fear, it is anger that has emerged in Owo town, southwest Nigeria, following a deadly church attack in the country's relatively peaceful region. Women marched in protest outside the traditional palace of Owo on Tuesday. Some of them chanted to Ogun, the deity of iron, calling for revenge against those responsible for the attack in St. Francis Catholic Church.
We are here as market women. We are here to commiserate with the people of Owo. We are here to say that enough is enough. We have a balance in Owo. We say that Owo Kinja Owo. It has never happened. We don't have war in Owo. Owo is a peaceful place. But this has happened now. It's strange to us.
It is an entire community that is still traumatized by the murder of at least 22 people, including children. Schools and public gathering spots remain closed in Owo on Tuesday. The Owo Kingdom's monarch, Oba Ajibade Gbadegesin Ogunoye, brought together ethnic leaders for discussions as he expressed his fears the violence could escalate further. Nigeria, Africa's most populous country with 206 million people, has grappled for more than a decade with insurgency in the northeast by the Islamic extremists. Well, Welcome back. You're still watching Africa Today on Hales TV. And now to stories from other parts of West Africa. Cameroon's government said Tuesday that a group of soldiers killed 9 villagers, including an 18-month-old girl. The authorities called the incident a manifestly disappropriate and hasty response to a confrontation in the restive English-speaking part of the country. It was reported that 4 soldiers were searching for a missing comrade in the village of Misong, northwest Cameroon, when they came across a group of angry villagers. The Defense Ministry described as angry in a statement on June 1. Since 2017, a conflict is tearing apart Cameroon's northwest and southwest regions. The military and secessionist militants have both been accused of atrocities. Civilians caught in the grip of war are the first victims of the conflict. According to the International Crisis Group, the fighting has killed more than 6,000 people. West African Regional Bloc, Economic of West African States, ECOWAS, says it regrets the Mali junta's decision to fix the length of the transition to civilian rule to 2 years, given negotiations are still ongoing. It said its mediator would continue talks with the Malian authorities with a view of searching a mutually agreeable transitional agreement that will ensure ECOWAS support. Mali's junta leader, Assimi Goïta, on Monday signed a decree fixing the length of the transition period to 24 months starting from March this year. The army initially seized power in 2020 and has been under international pressure to hold elections sooner. The junta had initially agreed. ECOWAS meeting decided to keep the measures in place, but is due to meet by next month to review the progress. We move to other parts of Africa after this break. Welcome back. The Radical Economic Freedom Fighters Party's president, Julius Malema, has said South African President Cyril Ramaphosa must step down pending investigations into money laundering following reports that money was stolen from his farm.
Cyril Ramaphosa owns game farm parties that are used for illicit financial flows, particularly money laundering. It is not surprising that 60 million in dollar bills were stolen from Cyril Ramaphosa's property and was not reported to the South African Police Services because criminals do not report crimes when their proceeds of crime are stolen.
Malema, who addressed journalists on Tuesday, said Ramaphosa had failed to prove to South Africans that he is a worthy president.
Fellow South Africans, we gave Ramaphosa a chance to prove himself. He has dismally failed. We will treat him the same way we have treated Zuma. He must leave the office with immediate effect because he has not respected his oath of office.
The party is expected to nominate its candidate for the 2024 national elections in the next few months. Since last week, Ramaphosa, 69 years, has been weakened by accusations that he was complicit in buying the silence of burglars who stumbled on large sums of money at one of his properties. The case began in February 2020, according to the complaint filed Wednesday at a Johannesburg police station by former South African intelligence chief Arthur Fraser. King Felipe's 6-day trip to the Democratic Republic of Congo is billed as a chance to build new ties after atrocities committed during the colonial rule. The visit comes as Belgium gets ready to return the last remains of Patrick Lumumba, a hero of the anti-colonial struggle. On Tuesday, King Felipe and Queen Mathilde of Belgium were greeted at the international airport of Kinshasa by President Felix Tshisekedi and his wife Denise. It was the first time since 2010 that a Belgian nation. The Belgian Prime Minister, who embarked on the 6-day trip alongside the King, said it was a historic moment. Tshisekedi and King Felipe are due to hold a ceremony at the Congolese parliament today. Then on Friday, the monarch will deliver a speech to university students in the southern city of Lubumbashi. According to Belgium's royal palace, the king will discuss the question of returning artworks looted during the colonial era. Some observers believe the trip is a chance for reconciliation after atrocities committed under Belgian colonial rule. And now to South Africa. South African court has rejected the Mozambique government's request to appeal against a decision to extradite former finance minister Manuel Chang to the United States. A Johannesburg court has ordered Chang's extradition to the United States, where he is accused of corruption, fraud and money laundering last December. The Mozambique government petitioned the South Africa's Constitutional Court for authorization to appeal against the sentence. The court dismissed the request on Tuesday. The government in Mozambique had wanted him to be extradited to Maputo, where 19 suspects are on trial on similar charges. The crimes against Chang relate to loans taken by Mozambique during his tenure as finance minister. Chang signed off more than $2.7 billion in loans to set up a sophisticated tunnel industry to buy trawlers and military patrol boats, but much of it was allegedly diverted to corrupt officials. The former finance minister has been in South African prison. Welcome back, and this is Business News. Despite the steady rise in crude oil price, the country's earnings from the commodity dropped for the fourth time in a month. This was contained in the Central Bank of Nigeria's late 2022. According to the CBN data, the country earned 945 billion naira in January, representing 7.8% less than the 1.024 trillion naira budgeted for the period. A breakdown of the components of oil revenue showed that no revenue accrued from crude oil and gas exports in January, the second straight month the government has earned.
Good afternoon and welcome to Sport News on Africa Today. I'm Richard Badum. On Sport News, Olympics bronze medalist at the Côte d'Or National Sports Complex in St. Pierre, Mauritius today. Heptathlon 100-meter hurdle heptathlon. Not ranked as the favorite for the event, the 29-year-old will be hoping to become the 5th Nigerian woman to mount the podium as African champion in the event after Bella Belgam in 1979, as pentathlon Patience Itanyi in 1998, Patience Okoro in 2008, and Uhunoma Osazua, who set a new 6,153 points championships record 6 years ago in Durban, South Africa. Bayern Munich have ruled out a summer move for Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen. The German champions are in search of a new number 9 to replace Robert Lewandowski, who is on his way out this summer. According to reports, the German Bundesliga champions were interested in the Napoli striker, but on Tuesday, while Mark Berenbeck revealed that the Bavarians could afford the Nigerian, who is currently valued at 110 million euros by the Partenopea. Last season, Osimhen scored 18 goals in all competitions and made 6 more in 32 appearances as Napoli finished third in Serie A. The 23-year-old is currently with the Nigerian squad in Abuja for Thursday's 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Sierra Leone. Away from that story, still talking about the Super Eagles, where midfielder Ogenekaro Etebo has come out to say he believes a win over Sierra Leone in Thursday's 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier in Abuja will usher in a new dawn for the Super Eagles under new coach Jose Peseiro. Following their failure to qualify for the Qatar 2022 World Cup, Etebo, who is one of the 5 midfielders listed for the game, stated that the team must return to winning ways to earn the trust of the country's teaming fans again.
The most important thing is for us to make sure that, if we want to win, it needs to start from now. So I guess the game is not going to be easy, because I remember the last time we played Sierra Leone in Benin, we were 4-0 up, and then we had to lose, focus. The game ended 4-4, and then we went to Sierra Leone. It was 0-0, but all the same, that has passed. The most important of all is that for us to be as a team, we need to make sure that it needs to start from now. That's coming on Thursday. We need to make sure that every game that we're going to play, we need to take it serious and get every point as much as we can. I've known him for a very long time when I was in Portugal, so I've heard about him. It's my first time training with him, and I hope and I pray that he's going to do well and make the nation proud.
The Eagles have failed to win in their last 5 games, losing 3 against Tunisia, Mexico and Ecuador, and drawing 2 with Ghana over 2 legs during their Qatar 2022 World Cup playoffs. On new Eagles coach Peseiro, the former Watford and Galatasaray midfielder, said he hopes his reign will make the nation proud. The Portuguese tactician replaced former coach General after the German tactician was sacked last November. Peseiro lost his opening 2 games against Mexico and Ecuador and will be hoping he begins his AFCON qualification on a winning note against the Leon Stars in Abuja. To let you into the fact that Liverpool star Sadio Mane scored a penalty 8 minutes into added time to give Senegal a dramatic 1-0 win over heartbroken Rwanda on Tuesday in the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Forced to play a home match in Senegal because they did not have an international standard stadium, Rwanda was on the verge of holding its team ranked 116 places higher in the world. Mane rescued the Teranga Lions on 98 minutes with a hard, low penalty that eluded the outstretched hand of goalkeeper Olivier Quizera. Mane has starred in the first 2 matches for the title holders, scoring 4 goals, including a match-day 1 hat-trick against Benin Republic. According to coach Aliou Cisse, he chose 7 of the team that started the final victory over Egypt in Cameroon 4 months ago and introduced 2 more off the bench to help his team secure the win. Mozambique, who began their campaign by drawing with Rwanda, could close the gap behind Senegal to 2 points by winning away to bottom team Benin Republic on Wednesday. And that's your sport news on Africa Today. Back to Ainan Luben for the rest of the news. I'm Richard Badung.
Thank you so much, Richard Bagdun, for the sports input. And now to the rest of the news. The Joint Action Committee of the Senior National Association of Nigerian Universities, that is SSANU, and Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, has said no tangible achievement was recorded at the federal government renegotiation panel. Speaking in an interview with correspondents on Tuesday, the National Vice President, Abdul Basur Salam, said the panel met only once with SSANU since it was inaugurated on March 7, 2022. It was also reported that the committee, which was chaired by the Pro-Chancellor of Alex Ekweme Federal University, Ndufe Alikwe Nimi Briggs, was given 3 months to conclude the renegotiation with the 4 university unions and send report to the federal government. The committee's timeline ended on Monday. It is believed that the committee will submit its report to the federal government this week or get an extension. The strike started with a warning strike of 2 weeks which commenced on March 27, 2021, while extension of another week commenced on Sunday, April 10, 2022. And that's the much we can take on Africa Today. But before we go, a quick look at the headlines once again. On the headlines, we told you INEC agitates party primaries extensions. Soldiers killed 9 villagers in Cameroon. Rume and Musan, Team Nigeria's medal hopefuls. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hills TV, Instagram at Hills TV, YouTube channel at Hills TV. I am Ainan Luben. Thank you for watching.